so far the meat is concerned, no one has any objection. And this is not a Sharia certification, it's a scientific certification. It's
Scientific.
an ancient science.
Scientific.
Ancient science
Ancient
that says food
How
is
ancient?
healthy, food is safe for consumption.
How ancient? How ancient?
As long from the time when Islam has been.
So are you
in
saying
this
that
world,
before Islam, others had no cognizance of the
Maybe.
science that you're talking about? That science dawned only when Islam dawned. Is that what you're saying?
It's a welcome decision by the UP government. The halal certification by private agencies is the first step towards a Sharia compliant India. Not just meat, but cement, sofas, medicines, makeup are being certified halal. Rahul, please check if your studio that is in UP is halal certified or not.
Well, I don't know if it's made with kosher, sharia and cement. If it isn't, it's not.
Now, when he says, perhaps correctly, that Islam follows science and it is scientifically proven fact, I want to ask him a very simple question, because he says Islam and science are completely intertwined. Does he believe in Surah Al-Qamar 54:1-2 that the Prophet split the moon as told in the Quran?
You seem to be an Islamic scholar. I am not an Islamic scholar.
Please
I am
answer
here
it.
telling you about the law.
Do you
The
believe the moon was
Constitution
split?
allows the people of India.
Direct questions in from them. And I want to begin with Tausif Khan, who's a lawyer and a spokesperson for issues such as these. He appears in court fighting for the rights of his community. Dr. Ranganathan, of course, and Tuhin Sinha, the national spokesperson of the BJP. Now, I want to begin first by the most basic question. And I have to ask you, sir, Tausif sir, why do companies have to seek Sharia certification to sell cement, basin, or angle irons, or Saria as it is called in the vernacular? Why?
No, this, first of all, the Solicitor General appearing on behalf of the state of Uttar Pradesh, what are his submission in the Supreme Court today? He himself is saying that that there can be no objection on halal certification of meat. So he admits that halal certification, so far as meat is concerned, no one can have any objection. That's the position of the government of the Uttar Pradesh, state of Uttar Pradesh, before the Supreme Court. His only objection is that why there are other items which are included in this category. Now, this is something which the Food Certification Department can clarify, because the central policy of halal certification is not limited only to non-vegetarian food item. As it is, there are certification for veg items and non-veg items. We see even a packet of chips, even a packet of water bottle. There are certifications. Companies have to seek they have to put a label of non-vegetarian and vegetarian. Now, in addition to that, so far the meat is concerned, no one has any objection. And this is not a Sharia certification, it's a scientific certification. It's
Scientific.
an ancient science.
Scientific.
Ancient science
Ancient
that says food
How
is
ancient?
healthy, food is safe for consumption.
How ancient? How ancient?
As long from the time when Islam has been.
So are you
in
saying
this
that
world.
before Islam, others had no cognizance of the
Maybe.
science that you're talking about? That science
Maybe.
dawned only when Islam dawned. Is that what you're saying?
Islam says that it is that Prophet Muhammad is the last prophet, and there have been prophets before.
But others don't believe it,
So
sir.
there's no question.
There are other religions. Anyhow, let me open this
scientific-
up. First of all, viewers, let me be very clear that the UP government's order banning halal certification is broad-based, by the way. This might be one particular lawyer's, a counsel's submission that, okay, when it comes to meat, there can be no objection. But the UP government, the Yogi government's move to ban Halal is very broad-based, viewers, extends across foods also. So let me put that into perspective. What we haven't understood from Mr. Khan as yet is, why is it that one community is being serviced exclusively on religious lines in a secular state, and should this not be stopped? Dr. Ranganathan, I want to ask you, what's the logic here? Explain it to me.
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, it's a welcome decision by the UP government. The halal certification by private agencies is the first step towards a Sharia compliant India. Not just meat, but cement, sofas, medicines, makeup are being certified halal. Rahul, please check if your studio that is in UP is halal certified or not.
Well, I don't know if it's made with kosher, saria and cement. If it isn't, it's not.
I hope it is, otherwise Tausif Bhai will just walk away. No, but look, two issues here. And I dare say both are being overlooked by the Supreme Court. I wonder why. Number one, why do we need multiple official agencies to certify food and other products? This is, Rahul, an open invitation to corruption and blackmail. The UP government order states, quote, the right to decide the quality of food items lies only with the authorities mentioned under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. Thus, halal certification of food products is a parallel system which creates confusion regarding the quality of food items and is completely against the basic intention of the said act and is not tenable under section 89 of the said act. Now, why has this come about? Because Muslim entities like the Halal India Private Limited, Jamaat-e-Ulema-e-Hind Halal Trust, Halal Council of India were exploiting religious sentiments to boost sales by providing halal certificates to customers of a specific religion. Rahul, one cannot stop anyone from labeling a food, Sharia compliant or not. But if at all, any agency should certify food halal or GM or Sattvic or otherwise, it should only be a government agency. And it should be done free of charge. This would immediately stop blackmail and extortion by these private halal certifying bodies. Besides, did you know that the money they make out of it is also being allegedly used for activities not commensurate with the sanctity and security of India? Number two, let me now come to the hypocrisy when it comes to halal, in particular meat products. Rahul, no sane person, least of all I, would accept animal cruelty. That said, this is the time to ask a few pertinent questions of selectivity and double standards when it comes to Hindu religious and ritualistic practices. In 2019, the Tripura High Court banned animal sacrifice even though Hindus argued that this practice was a centuries-old tantric tradition of worshipping the 10 Mahavidyas. That the Hindus pleaded was also in keeping with the famous 1954 Shirur Mutt judgment that established the sanctity of an essential religious practice. But the judges would hear none of it. In 2014, the judges of Himachal Pradesh High Court had similarly banned the 600-year-old tradition of animal sacrifice during Kullu Dashera. Just yesterday, Kerala police on directions of PETA raided and banned rooster sacrifice in a Kerala temple in Chombola. The question to be asked is, why should only the religious Hindu be prevented from conducting animal sacrifice? If the state is against animal sacrifice, and laudably so, then shouldn't it be against all animal sacrifices conducted in the name of religion? But is that the case? Every single day, Rahul, more than 1 billion Muslims eat meat after the religious ritual of halal has been performed. In fact, it is an essential requirement. The dabiha or the prescribed ritual slaughter must be staged. The incision must be precise and deep. That cuts the carotid artery and the trachea. The blood must be drained completely.
There's a shop which certifies the owner's name.
The head of the animal must be aligned to the
Consumers have a right
and it
to
is
know
essential that
who is the seller, what is the religion of the seller.
Only a Muslim
Then
can
consumers
perform
also
the
have the right
so
to know
according
whether
to the honorable judges,
halal
this
or
is
not.
a ritual. In fact, this ritualistic practice has been deemed so cruel in many European countries that it is banned or made mandatory to stun animals before performing halal. But do our judges have the courage to shun selectivity on animal rights? That's the question we should be asking.
Well, let me tell you.
You need to read.
Let me tell you 1 second. One second. The court is hearing this matter. 1 second, gentlemen, let's not speak over each other. I'll let you back in, Mr. Khan. Just give me 30 seconds. Viewers, the court is hearing the matter. It could well agree with Dr. Ranganathan. We don't know. So let's not prejudge. I don't want to be accused of trying to sort of lead the court towards a particular conclusion that, of course, is also a problematic issue in our country. But fundamentally, Mr. Khan, I want to ask you this. Dr. Ranganathan says, why should only one community's belief systems be exalted or put on some kind of exclusive pedestal? You know that halal can only be carried out by a Muslim.
No, Mr.
So the
Ranganathan
certificate or certification only benefits one community. Why?
Mr. Ranganathan is not presenting the true picture. He is forgetting that in Uttar Pradesh, any shop owner has to display their name so that the consumer has a right to buy from from a shopkeeper of a certain religion.
No, how is that connected? How is and hang on. When Yogi Adityanath made that law,
Please do not interrupt. Let me finish. Anand, please.
You are the one interrupting me, Tausif.
Now
you are the one interrupting me.
Rahul,
now you are saying I am interrupting you.
No, please.
How does it
please,
feel when I interrupt?
Okay, one second. Let's.
Anand,
okay.
Rahul, you see,
Rahul, was he not interrupting?
He was.
In democratic India, which follows the rule of law, which follows the constitution, every consumer has a right to eat a food of their choice. And a consumer.
But sir, are you telling me that a businessman? No, hang on. Are you telling me?
Central government policy says.
No, so how do I have choice? How do I have choice when a packaged item lands on my door which says halal certified, and I'm probably not somebody who conforms to that? So why should I?
You don't need to buy. It is not mandatory for anyone to buy halal food.
You see, there you go, viewers.
It is completely wrong.
Quick, Dr. Ranganathan coming in with a rebuttal. Yes, listen to the other side, Mr. Khan.
Consumer discretion.
Listen to the other side. Consumer discretion, he says. Why is it not consumer discretion? And I want to bring in Tween Sinha right after. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what is it, which scripture does Tausif Bhai read that he has so much hatred for people who don't want to eat halal food. Mr. Harinder Sikka has been fighting this campaign. He's even met Yogi Adityanath. Unsuspecting non-Muslims have been offered halal meat, especially the Sikhs. And this goes on in many established restaurants. This is a problem out here because the restaurants want to cut corners. They don't want to have two types of meat, halal and non-halal. So they serve unsuspecting Hindus and Sikhs and Christians halal meat. And now Tausif is saying this doesn't go on. Every consumer has a choice. You're a complete liar. I don't know who gave you.
Tween Sinha. Let me bring in Tween Sinha. Let me bring in. No, gentlemen, 1 second. Let me bring in Tween Sinha. Tween Sinha, why is the BJP?
Rahul,
1 second. Mr. Khan says.
Restaurant.
Okay, 1 second, sir. Mr. Khan says there is no
that's
problem.
the
No one is
reality
forcing
Uttar
this
Pradesh.
down anybody's throat. So why are you getting all excited? Why is the BJP going the extra yard to disadvantage Muslims, squeeze their rights in this country, target them, etc.? Quick response from you. Tween Sinha, what's your issue?
Well, good evening, Rahul. Good evening, Rahul. The halal expansionism in India seems to be a very clear, notorious attempt to impose religio-economic supremacy over the country. And if I may be allowed to be a little more unsophisticated, this is economic jihad. Now, since Mr. Tausif Ahmed has been calling it an ancient practice, it whets up my curiosity to put forth some questions to him, which I will just do in a second. But let me allow me to make my point before that. 3 decades ago, the halal certification was restricted to meat because it largely pertained to the Islamic dietary practices of Muslims. Now, when I see, cement, iron rods being certified at halal, where is this mad obsession going to stop at? Tomorrow, housing apartments will be certified, halal certified. Tomorrow, airlines which you will travel into will be certified, halal certified airlines. I mean, this obsession needs to stop.
Mr. Khan,
number 2,
why should there be certification at all?
This,
if you say that there should be discretion,
I have some very
okay,
Rahul,
yes.
Rahul, allow me to ask some very pointed questions. Since he calls it a very ancient practice, this has really whetted up my curiosity to know what is it that goes into the halal certification of an iron rod. Can he explain, can he enlighten the viewers on your show? What is it that goes into the halal certification of cement? Can he enlighten your viewers today? Because I am very curious.
Mr. Khan.
Tuheen, I do not have the answer now, but I will definitely tell you about iron rod.
Then how do you call it ancient?
But I have.
You just called it an ancient practice.
Scientific, he said. Ancient scientific.
For example.
Yeah, you called scientific ancient.
No, viewers, allow me, viewers. 1 second, Mr.
Halal
Khan.
certified.
1 second, Mr. Khan and Mr.
Where
Sinha.
will this stop?
Yes,
Halal
yes,
certified.
let me ask the fundamental baseline question,
bribes.
Mr. Khan. Listen to me. This is a question that is coming to you.
Cleaning the meat.
Okay, one second. Mr. Khan, why should there be certification at all? Hang on. One second, Mr. Khan. Why should there be certification at all? If Muslims believe that they must serve Sharia meat, Muslims should go to shops where the proprietor says, yes, this is halal meat and it is being served. And since you know that it can only be done by Muslims, since all shops now are supposed to bear the name of vendors, you will know who's a Muslim and who's not. Go to their shops.
Now, Rahul,
no, you just said there should be freedom of choice. Why should there be not freedom of choice for producers in this country?
Now, kindly be patient with me. Please do not interrupt while I am saying. Now, there are two ways of preparing a meat. Let's say, for example, goat. In a halal process, a goat is cut in a certain way which lets the blood come out of the vein completely, and which is considered more clean way.
Yeah.
It is a
no, it's not. None of that.
To
Please,
eat our
to make rice, wheat.
And many non-Muslim prefer this kind
of
food.
Where is this coming from? Are you saying that all? No, hang on. Are you saying the entire Christian world? Are you saying that the Christian world wants halal certified meat? What are you talking about? Mr. Khan, one second. Just wait a second, please. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan. The question is, why shouldn't we disband this whole process? Even with meat, why should there be certification?
Not allowing this option to the non-Muslims to have the halal food.
It is
totally the
Dr. Ranganathan.
of the consumer.
Dr. Ranganathan.
Yeah, I really admire. I admire Tausif bhai. He's erudite. Please, Tausif bhai, please don't interrupt. I did not interrupt you. I admire you. You know that you're a good friend. Now, when he says, perhaps correctly, that Islam follows science and it is scientifically proven fact, I want to ask him a very simple question, because he says Islam and science are completely intertwined. Does he believe in Surah Al-Qamar 54:1-2 that the Prophet split the moon as told in the Quran?
You seem to be an Islamic scholar. I am not an Islamic scholar.
Please
I am here telling you about the law. The Constitution allows the people of India to have halal meat.
Don't be
and
scared.
The advocate
Don't
for
be scared.
Uttar Pradesh,
Answer it.
The question is not about eating.
There is no objection.
No, one second. Lower everyone's faders. Viewers, please, let's not get confused here. There is a deliberate attempt at obfuscation. Let me tell you this. And Dr. Ranganathan has hit the ball out of the park. He says, tell me where there is science involved in this. If you believe that Islam and science are intertwined, here's a question. Now, obviously, Mr. Khan is not going to go against the scripture because I don't even want to go there because the punishment for that is unmentionable. But, viewers, let me tell you one thing. The question here is of choice. Why should there be a certification agency apart from the government? It's very simple, viewers. Which other faith is allowed these concessions? And why are these concessions being given? This is a fundamental question.